Hi everyone, so I thought I would do a video where I'm talking about the worst books I read for the year of 2022. Now I don't have very many, I actually do not, because this year I said to myself, if I'm not liking a character, if I'm not liking the writing, and if I'm not liking this book, DNF and move on with my life. So that's pretty much what I've been doing this year, is like, if I'm a chapter in, two in, and I'm like, you know what, I'm not feeling this, I get out, and then I move on to something else. So these are the ones that I went and I all the way finished and didn't like them. So, like I said, don't have very many here. I'm going to try to keep it like short and sweet of why I didn't like these books, and then that's pretty much it. So should hopefully be a quick video. I know how I am, where I tend to, yep. So the first one is The Lady and the Orc. This is Finley Fenn. I gave this a 2-star. Now, I did a whole review on this one. I did not like this book because it had so many issues with it. So you have this character where, and this is off the top of my head, she is kidnapped and forced to like be with this orc, and it's just like back and forth with them constantly, and it didn't matter if the intimate scenes were like, you know, all sexy and everything, it still cannot make up for a bad storyline. And this here was just bad. Like, she ends up getting pregnant with the orc's child, and then she's basically telling the orc, like, well, I'm gonna go and end up deleting this child inside me, and he starts crying. And so I'm like, no. So it's really made me leery about going into any more of that series. People were like, oh, it gets better. I actually just last night tried to read the second book in the series, and I'm just like, nah. So I DNF'd that one actually. So, but yeah, I don't know what it is. I'm not feeling this author. The writing is just not good. You know, it's just, I didn't like it. Yeah, 2-star. It was really bad. There was a lot of stuff in it, and I was just like, So the next one I was not a fan of is My Killer Vacation by Tessa Bailey. Now, most of Tessa Bailey I do like. There's been a few things that I'm like, never, you know, I wasn't really a fan of, and this was one of them. The characters were all annoying to me. I felt like the heroine's brother was a bit of a weenie, and it's like, why is she taking care of him? He's a grown-ass man. Why is she treating him like he's a fucking baby? So I hated that. I didn't like the whole of her like butting into this investigation, and I'm just like, yeah. I wasn't a fan of it. She's got a couple other books coming out. I'll have to check those ones out. But this one here, it's like she tried to do something different, and I just really wasn't a fan of it. Though I did like her vampire series. She did like a vampire series. I don't think a lot of people like that one, but I really enjoyed that one. But this one here was like more of a mystery, you know. It's like one of those cozy mysteries. I didn't care for it. I just didn't like it. And it just didn't work. So next one I did not like was Sweet Lullaby by Lorraine Heath. Now, this is one of Lorraine Heath's like earlier novels, like one of her first novels. And if a character pisses me off during a book, it's hard for me to forgive the character. It really is. The heroine, she gets knocked up by one of her father's like hired hands, you know, because this is like a set in like the country, and you know, like her father owning farmland and all that stuff. And this is, you know, like a historical romance. And so she gets pregnant by this friggin' dude. that she barely knows. She barely knows this guy. So I'm like, girl, girl, come on. Come on. Use that, you know? So she gets pregnant by this guy. He takes off, and she's like, well, I don't know when he'll be back. Her father finds out, and so her father's like, you need to get married. This is going to look bad if you do not get married to somebody. So he goes and hires, or he gets his other hired hand to marry her. And the hired hand that marries her is the sweetest guy. The guy is so sweet. He's patient with her. What does she do? The freaking other dude who knocked her up comes back, and she decides to go with him. And then when she gets to, you know, the area of where they're living, she realizes things aren't all sunshine and rainbows with this man. And I'm like, yeah, girl. Dumb. You had that guy. That guy was like willing to marry you even though the kid wasn't his. He loved you. He kissed the freaking ground you walked on, and you just ditched him? Come on. So yeah, I just, that heroine. I wanted to, you know, she was cruising for a bruising. She really was. Oh man, that woman. No. Oh, so yeah, that one I gave it 2 stars because I was just like, nope, heroine, no. So the next one I was not a fan of is a Claire Kent. This is Princess. Now, the age gap didn't bother me. The woman's immaturity bothered me. So this is a part of Claire Kent's like series where it's like a comet landed on the planet and it kind of devastated the planet. And so a lot of people ended up dying because they got like this sickness because the air was so, I guess like poisoned with, you know, asteroid hits and all that stuff. It kind of messed up the atmosphere and everything. So there was a whole bunch of people who died. So this woman, her father had built this like underground facility. And so her and her bodyguard and some other people had ended up down in the area for how many years. Now, it was fine for like the first half, but once they got above ground and started like meeting other people and stuff, her like jealousy and insecurity came out, and it just really showed her immaturity. And I really disliked her like at the end of the book. I just really didn't like her. And unfortunately, it made the book not enjoyable for me. I liked the hero, though I did feel like he was a bit like emotionally constipated. So he really needed to like express himself a little better. Now, I can understand people who are like the strong silent type. I can understand that. But when you get involved with somebody, you need to open yourself up to them and expose yourself and trust that they are not going to break your trust, break your, you know, loyalty. So that's what he needed to do. So I can understand a little bit of why she was the way she was, but ultimately her immaturity, her games that she played really just rubbed me the wrong way. And I just felt like I just don't see this couple lasting. You know, like something else could potentially break them up. You need to have like a solid bond, and I just didn't feel that solid bond. So unfortunately, was not a fan of that one. So the next one that I gave 2 stars is Corsairs. This is Mathrius by Ruby Dixon. I really disliked the heroine. Ruby Dixon had said in her author's note that she used this character as like she got inspiration from like Lilo from the movie The Fifth Element with Mila Jovovich, I think that's how you pronounce her name, and Bruce Willis and Chris Tucker. So I love Lilu, strong female character. Did not feel that with this character here. I felt the heroine was very immature, very, I don't want to say acted like a child, but acted very immature, very innocent to the world around her. And I really wish that Ruby Dixon had put her on like the Rizda 3 planet and had her like grow and mature before she got involved with a man. And I just didn't like Mathrius with her. I was like, dude, you could do so much better. I just felt like she was like very robotic, you know? And actually, you could kind of say she reminds me of like two characters. Does not remind me of like Leeloo Dallas. Definitely reminds me of like Cherry from the movie Cherry 2000. It has Melanie Griffith in it. Watch it. It's like an 80s flick. It's so cheesy, but it's still good. The other one I would say that she reminded me of is in the movie Coming to America, the prince is going to be marrying this woman, and he's like, what do you like? And she goes, whatever you like, you know? The heroine in this book definitely reminds me of like that, you know? Bark like a dog. You know? Arr! So for me, it's just, she did remind me of that. Oh, man. I wonder if that woman's still jumping around barking. If you haven't seen Coming to America, the first one, watch it. It's fucking hilarious. I love that movie. Eddie Murphy's just, you know, back in the 80s and 90s, Eddie Murphy's just comic genius. Love that man. Eddie Murphy's stuff I just love. So, the next one I was not a fan of was Notorious Pleasures by Elizabeth Hoyt. Now, the things that really made me not like this book was there was cheating in this. There was cheating in this. The man she cheats with is her fiance's brother. And this man was already rumored to have got his brother's wife pregnant. It didn't happen. He said it didn't happen, but still, it's like there is that rumor. The ton talks, you know, and so he ends up getting involved with his brother's fiance because the wife ended up dying in like birth, you know, like giving birth. And so it's like, dude, why are you going to get involved with your brother's fiance? You don't have a good relationship with your brother. You've already been accused of doing this, so it just makes things worse for you, you know, in the public's eye. And then when she goes and she like confesses to her fiance, he smacks her and calls her a WHORE. Oh, I was like, no. And that's why I ended up giving this 2 stars, because no. I was just like, no. Didn't like that one. The last one I was not a fan of was Does It Hurt by H.D. Carlton. This is like another one of those like TikTok books where people recommend it and they're like, it's so good. And I'm just like, no. It was just, So this woman is basically an identity thief. Now, she has reasons of why she's an identity thief, though I was like, okay, honey, this is not a good enough excuse to steal somebody's identity and all of that. It doesn't make you look like a good person. It makes you look like a terrible person. I'm sorry, it just doesn't. So she ends up stealing this identity of this guy after she had sex with him. And then she meets up with him again, and he pretends that he doesn't know that she stole his identity. And they basically have sex on his boat. And he pushes her head down in the sea where sharks are swimming around her head. And she almost gets bit. A shark is coming up with its huge mouth and sharp freaking teeth, and she almost gets bit, and he pulls her up. I'm sorry, but that is not hot. It's not sexy. No, thank you. I would be having an anxiety attack at that point, and my vajayjay would be dry. I'm sorry. No. Not hot. Not sexy. No. I would be chucking that mother off the boat and let him get eaten by sharks when he did that to me. No, thank you. So that I didn't like. Then the idiot didn't check weather conditions and they get stranded on this island with this crazy old guy in the lighthouse. Yeah, it was just weird. It was so weird and boring. Most of it just bored me. It was just them kind of like going back and forth on the island, figuring out different stuff. And I'm just like, okay, whatever. It just, it was not good. It was not good. So yeah, those are all the ones that I really disliked this year and actually finished. So, let me know down below. Do you agree with me with any of these books? Is there any books that you really disliked this year? Let me know down in the comments. But yeah, that's it for this video. So have yourself a good day. Take care of yourselves. Be kind to each other. And I will see you all on another video. All right. Bye.